everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ and search my bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First thing is first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's bounty, and I gotta level with all you folks. It was very disappointing. Batman was really good. Batman was without question the pick of the week. You know, I don't usually rank these in terms of which three were the picks and which three weren't. You know, I talk about what stood out, what I thought was good. Batman was unquestionably very, very good. Stories continue in a good way. Just really enjoyed it. Justice League was okay. You know, they're just kind of don't really know what's going on, especially like what's going on with this in comparison to like how Justice League ended. So maybe I'm a little confused and need to read a little more of it before we get, you know, really before I make a real big judgment call. But I was left a little confused, and then I guess just because I like to pick three, Savage Avengers #0 with the different kind of creator, you know, what they added from the other creators. So yeah, but yeah, nothing really rocked my world except for maybe Batman. You know, just nothing felt great, you know, and you'll have that sometimes, but I felt that the rest of the books were not very good at all. I mean, and I thought Daredevil, like, and you know, I mentioned that I didn't like that it was kind of almost teetering on a preachy direction. It didn't get preachy. I will give it that credit, you know, in terms of my taste. It didn't really get preachy, but I really didn't see anything in the book. I just really did not care for that particular issue. I will not be adding Fantastic Four and XMen to my pull list. I just could not get out of the book, and I read it 3 times. I just did not like it. And I wanted to like it. I really did, but I just couldn't get into it. Marauders was just still kind of underwhelming me, you know, despite initially being a book I wanted to keep. So I hate that the beginning of the adventure starts off on kind of the sour note, but sometimes that's going to happen. Just, you know, 6 books. One was very good, you know, so it wasn't all bad. You know, a couple were okay or fun, and then the rest, you know, were just kind of and I just could not do it. Just was not for me. But, you know, you might have felt differently. That's your call. Hopefully this week's better. I will see you guys when I get back here to the homestead with this week's bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ. This is quite a different bounty than what I'm used to picking up. I got the pull list books, but I have a few extras that'll be fun, so let's just jump right on into it. We have Savage Avengers #10. This is definitely something I'm looking forward to. You know, they kind of laid the teases in issue 0 that came out last week. So while it was kind of that book was a little bit more of a mix and match, this is something pretty interesting, and they kind of planted the seeds, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes. This is usually a book that I enjoy quite a bit, so yeah, we'll definitely see if this if the gritty badass Avengers book keeps up with what's made it fun since its first issue. Savage Avengers #10. From there we go to Hawkeye Fall #3. Slight spoiler warning, so until you see me flash this book one more time, you know, mute this video if you don't want to be spoiled, if you still haven't read issue 2 yet. But yeah, with the tease of Hawkeye being the one being his own worst villain, you know, I said a couple weeks ago on the adventure that this is, I'm intrigued and I like the writing, but I don't know if I'm going to like it when I find out more about this. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see if it's something that is not just being a force-fed, you know, to borrow a wrestling term, you know, because there's wrestling on this channel, a heel turn for Clint Barton, you know, or an ego-driven thing. Like, I hope they don't go in that direction, but I am kind of curious to what his motivations are with all of this. So, yeah, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it keeps up the momentum, because I've liked the first 2 issues so far, and yeah. Hawkeye Fall #3. From there we go to Excalibur #7. This is, my favorite of all the new X books. Really, just like the characterization, like the story, like the action. It ain't perfect, but with kind of them having Apocalypse and Gambit and Rogue and Psylocke and all these characters that I just really, really enjoy, I dig it. It's fun. It puts a smile on my face. It may not be the most in-depth storytelling ever. It's not like basic kind of stuff, it's not like so basic that you'll think you're an idiot if you have sophisticated taste, but it's still, it's still a fun book, and it's kind of, to me, it's what I like about the X-Men. I'll just put it to you that way, and you can leave your hate in the comments section below, but it's what I like about the X-Men books, and I dig it. Excalibur, number 7. Speaking of X-Men, we have X-Men, number 6. This book has been okay. It's definitely been better than Marauders. But it's just kind of something that it's not something I dislike, but it's something that always kind of flies under my own radar whenever I pick it up. I read it and I'm like, oh, that was cool, but then when I get the new book, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, X-Men, yeah, oh, what's going on again? Oh yeah, that, Not necessarily bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just something that, like I said, it flies under my own radar. Kind of like the vibe they're going for with it. I know they kind of have some of your classic X-Men characters, and they're acting like the versions that made me a fan of the X-Men to begin with way back in the day. But, I guess I just forget about the book. I read it and I go, that was awesome. And then I put it in the bag and board, box it, and then I forget I have it. So, I don't know. Maybe, hopefully that part changes because, you want a story to really stick in your gut and stick in your heart whenever you get done reading it. But at the same time, when you read as many comic books as I do, maybe some things will just fly under the radar. Still, not even close to dropping this one, so we'll see what happens. X-Men number 6. And that rounds out the Marvel portion of this week's bounty. Time to head to the DC portion. And we start with The Flash, number 88. The Flash is in Arkham. The Flash is dealing with all the different things that are going on because he feels he's a criminal with his own team, with everything going on. It's it's a really interesting book. And I mentioned how X-Men flies under my own radar. I've said it. This is probably, I think it's in episode 94, 95. I guess I'm not keeping track of my own show, but still, I've mentioned in every episode there's The Flash. The best kept secret in comics is here, and it needs to not be a secret anymore. It's awesome. Really like what Joshua Williamson is doing with this character, especially with the new wrinkle added to the story. Williamson really understands this character. He understands what makes this character great. And the other thing that I really appreciate is, I feel like if you're a Flash fan that has only seen the show, if that is your only knowledge of Barry Allen, you should go pick up the trades of Joshua Williamson's run on The Flash so far, because while it isn't panel for panel like what the TV show is, or vice versa, he really captures that spirit of Barry Allen in the way that I think fans who were introduced to Barry in that way would appreciate. So, that's just my opinion. Love best kept secret in comics, still kicking ass. The Flash, number 88. From there we go to Hawkman, number 21. The most hit and miss comic that it always knows how to save itself from the chopping block. I'll give it credit there. It always knows how to save itself from getting chopped off my pull list. That being said, there's going to come a time where I'm just going to get tired of inconsistency. And that's kind of coming with this book. I say that, and this will probably be a pick of the week. But, just kind of so far up and down. But, it's still, I've stuck with it for 21 issues. And I never, even though I like Robert Venditti, I didn't think I'd stick with Hawkman that long. And I have. And every time I'm thinking like, oh, it's just Hawkman, get away from it. But it's earned its spot, and every time it's about to lose it, it earns its place back with it. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's it did get very good with the Year of the Villain stuff, but you know, it kind of faded out. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hawkman, number 21. From there we go to Superman, number 20. It's a Mongol storyline. And, you know, I've never really been a huge Mongol fan. And again, I kind of wish that Bendis was only writing one Superman story. And the story of him outing himself in Action Comics has kind of been, you know, what's been good. But, you know, the one thing I'll give to Bendis, and I feel like, you know, multiple voices for this character, you know, it says here, Entertainment Weekly has called Superman Superhero of the Year. So I gotta give full credit to Brian Michael Bendis for making people care about Superman again. Superman is always a character that a lot of newer fans, unless they have some kind of affinity for him, they dislike him. Some of them just feel he's passé. Some of them feel he's overpowered. And while I'm quick to rush to the defense of Superman because I've read Superman books, I've watched enough Superman media, movies, TV shows, etc., that show that those are kind of, in my opinion, unfair things to say about him. It's kind of what's accepted for this character. And a lot of, you know, comic fans that, you know, I normally mingle with at the comic shop or, you know, go to conventions with, etc., they just feel that Superman's too boring, too overpowered, and they don't like him. They will never like him. They are set in their ways with Superman, and they have a legion of people in the media, mainstream media, and I'm not going to get into like a, well, you know, fuck the media thing. That's not what I'm about here. But mainstream media, writing articles on the comic book websites, they're like, Superman shouldn't exist. You're seeing those people on the websites turn around on Superman a little more, and it's because of Brian Michael Bendis. Maybe it's just fandom for Bendis and how great he was at Marvel. Maybe Bendis has opened the door to show all these people that were jaded and cynical about Big Blue that, hey, give him a shot. There's a lot more to him than what is cool to believe online. So even though I'm kind of thinking, he needs to maybe just write one of the Superman comics, Bendis has opened a lot of people's minds to Superman. So for that, as a Superman fan, I have nothing but respect and praise for Brian Michael Bendis for that. So, awesome. Can't wait to read the book. Superman, number 20. From there, we go to Terrifics, number 25. And it's being built up as a choose-your-own-adventure type comic book. That's what the previews kind of said, and I kind of hope that's the case, because that would be really fun. It is the anniversary issue. I love what they just came out of with the Bizarro storyline, and this might be a nice little stopgap before the new story arc begins. So we'll see. If I'm wrong on the choose your own adventure thing, then, you know, I might be a little unfairly disappointed in the book before I even open it up. That's not the case. But if it is, it may be unfairly a pick of the week next week. So who knows? But this is probably the book I'm the most excited to read. Terrifics, number 25. From there we go to Pennyworth, R.I.P. I don't know if it's a one-shot or if this is number one, but it's a Peter Tomasi Batman written book, so right there, with as much as I've been praising his run on this book so far. Yeah, just Tomasi really has been doing a good job, you know, telling the story of how the death of Alfred is affecting Bruce, and I'm guessing this is either a story arc or a one-shot that will kind of explore that some more. And, you know, I may smile at some tender moments. I may cry at the fact that, wow, they really seem to be not going with not having Alfred anymore. I thought it'd get retconned, but I mean, I guess in one sense, good on them for not. And you know, making me actually feel something with a comic book death. That doesn't happen a whole lot nowadays. So we'll see what happens with this book. Peter Tomasi and Batman has always been a grade A combination since I've been reading it, and we'll see how it goes. Pennyworth R.I.P. #1. And the final portion of the pull list and new comics of this week's bounty is The Green Lantern Season 2 #1 by Grant Morrison. I'm being a fanboy buying Green Lantern, I know. I mean, I'm the hypocrite that I say I don't like, and it's just the case. Didn't really dig the Black Stars. Very more misses than hits with the first part of this, but we'll see where it goes. You know, I like to read Green Lantern. I like Grant Morrison. I have faith in Grant Morrison, but he's testing my faith. If Grant Morrison was a religion before this book, I believed in it with all my heart, and now I'm starting to become agnostic towards Grant Morrison if we were to put that comparison on there. So, yeah, hopefully it picks up, because I love Morrison, I love Green Lantern, but this combination has not been the match made in heaven that I thought it would be. Who knows? The Green Lantern Season 2, #1. And speaking of Green Lantern, I have picked up, because the 3 Silver Age Green Lantern books at my local comic shop. Taking advantage of some extra money I've come into. I love Silver Age and Bronze Age books, and I love collecting old Green Lanterns. So we have issue 62. Pretty cool cover. You know, right there. Issue 63. Again, another really cool cover. I like how sometimes back in the Silver Age, like the cover tease was sometimes, you know, just so awesome. And, you know, I wish I could have been a kid seeing that awesome cover and being like, oh, I need a dime and 2 pennies to pick this book up. It looks, you know, what's going to happen to Green Lantern? Especially like with this one right here, number 64. I remember if I could have been a kid then and saw this on the spinner rack, I would have started panhandling to get 12 cents together. You can bet you on that. There's some 3 really cool Silver Age Green Lantern books, and they will go great in my collection. And we have a Bronze Age Green Lantern book that I also picked up. I thought the cover looked cool, and was a special Green Lantern special edition that was 50 cents back in the Bronze Age, but I thought it looked cool and would also be another great addition to the collection, especially with those 3 Green Lantern books that I just picked up. So good stuff. I also was able to pick up this Bronze Age 35th anniversary Superman book. It's a 100-page giant from 1973. Just looks really cool and has like a bunch of the reason I was able to get a good deal on it, the condition was, and I'll very delicately pull it out, like, you know, there is some rough stuff on the condition. You know, there's some writing right there, a little bit fading. Looks like someone erased Superman's face right there, but it's still a cool little piece of history to have. I've been singing the praises of Superman. 35th anniversary Bronze Age Superman book is still something that for a Superman fan like me, get back in here, don't get damaged more. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Pretty excited to have in my collection. So there's that. And finally, the ultimate of this week's bounty is a legendary Justice League of America Silver Age book. Classic cover right there. Just one of the legendary issues of Justice League of America. I've read this book in trade paperbacks, but to finally have, I always thought that the story, it was for the time. It was really, really cool. but still something that you probably couldn't pull off outside the Silver Age, but it's still very, very good. And, again, going back to, just covers, like if I'd have seen this on the spinner rack as a kid, oh, what's happening to JLA? Why are they being called traitors? Why are they having to get on a spaceship? Are they going away? What's happening to the Justice League? And, yeah, not going to show you the price tag on there, but it's one that if it wasn't for getting some money back from Uncle Sam, I don't think I'd be able to purchase it. But I'm happy I did. And this one's not going in a long box. This is getting a frame, getting put on the wall. Awesome, beautiful book. Still in, decent condition. A little, some tearing and some spine bending, but overall it's still the outside of it and the book's all there. It's still a beautiful copy. I am so happy to have this book. It's awesome. So, yeah. Pretty pumped up about this one. And it's going on the other side. That's where all my Justice League kind of stuff has been. So it's going on that side, but maybe one day I'll show it off or post on social media. That is it for me this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of comic books, from the world of gaming, anime, pro wrestling, and all things geek culture. Go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. There you will find every Thursday my collection comic of the week blog. That is exclusive to my Facebook page. But on that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.